This is your one and only Firespark81 with your daily dose of video goodness, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Freeform Friday, where we play some random video game you've probably never heard of before, and I doubt you've heard of this one. I know there's no logo on the screen, a little weird, but this one is called Crest, and this is one of those games that just showed up in my email box, and I'm like, this looks interesting, and sure enough it is. It's a pretty cool game. So we're going to go in here to the options real quick, and I'm going to crank this music volume up, give you a little taste of the music before we jump into it, because you know I have to play with the music off just in case of copyright infringement and all that good stuff. So here we go. All right, there we go. A little taste of the music there. It's got like a, I don't know what you call it, but it's nice. I like it. It's not bad at all. All right, let's get to the game. So we're just gonna accept that. We're gonna create a new game, and we're gonna skip this because the audio to this is really bad. Trust me. All right, here we are in the game. Now, as far as I can tell, this map is randomly generated every time, and you just end up with one little tiny group of followers that you see right here, one little city. Now, I have played this game already, and I want to go ahead and let you all know this. Of course, I said it came in my email box, so obviously this game was given to me by the developers. So I have played this already. I played probably about 2 hours of it because I like to get a head start on these God games because they're usually pretty complex and you don't really want to see the learning process that goes into these. So I figure it's better for me just to show you rather than derp through it. So here we go. We have our city here, and you control your people by giving them commandments, and you do that by building like this chain down here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to say middle-aged people. So you can see that when I highlight over that, these little buildings here highlight, so that's the ones that it's going to affect. So we're going to select middle-aged people. We're going to tell them to produce, and then we're going to tell them to, let's tell them to fish, because I think they got fisheries over there. So we'll tell them to go fishing, and then you click this and you proclaim the commandment. Now we can click this over here. This shows you your list of current commandments you have going on, and their associations. We'll get into those a little bit later. So that's it. Like, they have free will. They do whatever they want, and you hope that they're going to do your commands. Now, the more faithful they are, the better chance there is that they're going to follow your commands. So that's something to keep in mind there. So what's this saying? They're saying they want this here. So you can also do this. It was this, and this, right? Oh, hold on a minute here. Let's drag that one there. Followers living in the desert go fishing? Yeah, sure. Followers living in the desert go fishing. And they didn't really care too much about that one, even though I think that's the one they wanted. They'll also do that. They'll tell you some things they need, but you can also click on the city and, oop, what was that? That was weird. Let's get back on our city here. So you can also click on the city. Oh no, yeah, that's what they wanted. I did proclaim that for you. That's what you got there. So tell your people to go do it. Anyway, you can see here that this is their city needs. This is the red triangles are what they need, and the green circles are what they have achieved, and the squares here are what they crave. Although I don't ever really see, for all the time that I played yesterday, I didn't really see any of the squares, so I'm not sure about that. But then you can also go to this. Now, this is things that are going to help show how much they receive whatever your commandment is. So like, they want offspring and esteem. They don't want fellowship and safety. They don't really care about it. So the more stuff you give them that's like make babies, they're gonna love. So we'll do that right now. We'll do people who live in the desert, produce babies. Now, if I click this, you can see that they liked it. They were happy about that because it helps them produce offspring. Now, these doctrines can change at any given point in time, so it's a good thing to check these. But you'll start to get more cities on the map. They just break off and make cities whenever they want. And when they do that, one city may have a doctrine that conflicts with another. So you may make a commandment that makes, say, this city happy, but it can make city over here angry. It's a lot of things to keep in mind when you're doing this, but that's your main thing. Like, you don't actually, I don't build cities. You don't do any of that stuff. You just make commandments, and then they either do them or they don't do them. And you get influenced by how many you have. So we have 6 followers here, so we're gaining 6 every half cycle. So you can see there's your influence. It's replenished. We've already burnt through all of those. You will always have a default of 3. So you will always be able to make, even if everybody on the map hates you, every half cycle, you will at least be able to make 1 commandment to try to get some people to like you, because as you can see down here, no matter what commandment you make, it's always going to cost you 3 of your influence. And then you got this little thing here you can click to see, it tells you what's going on. There's some new babies born and rain season, blah, 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 blah. And that's pretty much all there is to this game. It's a little more in depth than what it may seem like, because like I said, it gets a little complicated when you have multiple cities and you're trying to balance multiple cities and what they want, what they need. With a single one, it's pretty easy. You can see here how each of your commandments has affected them. They really loved this one. They didn't really care about this one, and they didn't really care about this one. Also, game devs, you need a space in between considered neutral, and you need a space in between considered popular. Basically, after considered, you're missing a space. This game is early access, by the way, so any little bugs and stuff like that you see, just keep in mind that it's an early access game, so that stuff's to be expected. You can't really get mad at it when you're playing a game that's not done. So yeah, you can see that their stuff changes dynamically here. So now they need fellowship, they want more offspring, they need esteem, and the problem is that also kind of conflicts with this, because they don't want fellowship right now, even though that's something that technically this says they need. What I try to do is try to keep an eye on whatever their doctrine is and match that up with stuff they need. So like if they need offspring and this says that they like offspring and this says that they need offspring, that's what I'll try to make a commandment for. You can also increase the speed, so we can kick up the speed a little bit here and just let them do their thing. And you can see we just got more influence, so we can make more commandments if we want to, and we can just kick that back down to normal speed here. And you know what? Let's see if we can get them to harvest some metal. And do they get any association? Okay, so here we go. I can show you the associations. So this happens like over time. I guess it's kind of like you know how over time religion changes a little bit and stories get changed over time. You may think that so-and-so said this, but then somebody else comes along and says so-and-so said this. I think that's what this is trying to emulate. And you can either give it your blessing, which, says it's good, go ahead and do it. Or you can say it's bad. And, it tells them that you don't really like it that much, and gives them some type of negative influence or something like that. And the tutorial is kind of brief. It doesn't really go into a deep explanation on stuff. It just gives you a quick rundown. So I'm not 100% sure. Usually if I don't like it, I'll try to just leave it alone. If I do like it, I'll give it a blessing. So this is followers live in the desert, go fishing. And we said middle-aged followers fish for food. So you could just click this and bless it. And then it's like, oh, okay, well, we agree with that. We like that. So go ahead and go fish for food. And the commandments wear away over a given period of time. The associations will cause this bar to drop, and it just drops over time. And you see we got no associations here and none here. And also associations will affect different cities. So you may make a commandment that only affects this city, but then you may have a city over here and that commandment may not affect this city, but they may gain an association from it and say, oh, well, we don't have old people, but we live in the desert, so desert people make babies. And then you can, say, okay, great, desert people make babies. So let's give them another commandment here. Let's say people who live in the desert produce metal. Let's see if they'll like that. They like offspring. They like esteem. So that's not really going to affect them there. They don't really need abundant. Actually, what they need is fellowship and esteem. I'm not 100% sure how to get esteem. I think fellowship has to do with other cities, like trading with them and stuff like that. So we're just going to tell them to do this anyway. I don't know if it'll be okay. They didn't really care. That's good. You can click over here once again. Like I said, where's it at? Right here to see whether they cared about it. So if it's neutral, they're not going to go up, they're not going to go down, they're not really going to care. And you'll eventually get more cities, like I said, and then you'll have more influence, and you could just start making commandments like crazy. But a lot of times, like I said, it's just a matter of setting back. It's a very passively played game. It's a lot of just, fast mode, hanging back, watching them, see what they do, making a commandment every now and then. I try not to go too commandment crazy, especially when I get a ton of cities, because it can really make other cities angry. Near the end of my game, when I was testing this out, I had like 3 cities of the like 6 cities that were on the map that absolutely didn't just hated me, and I couldn't get them to convert back. So it's something to keep in mind. You are literally a religion in this game, as opposed to some other God games where you may have a little more control. You don't really have a lot of control in this game. You make commandments, you hope they like it, and you hope they follow it, and it's kind of what you do here. So it's a neat game though. I like it because it's honestly, it's really relaxing. I almost fell asleep at one point just because I was just kind of like chilling, and yeah, it's a very relaxing, just passively played game. It can get a little more complex when you got more stuff going on, you got more cities on the map, but at the same time, like I said, you don't just issue tons and tons and tons of commands. So let's give them another one. Let's say, what do they need here? They still want offspring. Apparently they do not have enough babies. So we're gonna say, we already have people that live in the desert. Let's say old people produce babies. No, produce babies. There you go. You can also click these. You don't have to drag them. I'm just in the habit of dragging them for some reason. So old followers produce babies. Oh, look, they loved it because, they want to produce babies. They need to get out of this doctrine. Something else needs to go on. So it's another thing. Like you can't, like I could do other stuff, but it might make them angry. So I'm just not going to. So here we got another association. Followers living in the desert, change your surrounding to savanna. You know what? Sure. That's an option, but I haven't really seen it happen. Like I had a bunch of them in my previous game where I was trying to tell them to turn all of this, desert and savanna into jungle. And I kept issuing the command, and it just wouldn't happen. It just did not change into jungle. I don't know if it's like a long period of time situation or what, but yeah, it wasn't a thing. So we'll just hit 3 there, kick it up to speed 3 again. And are they gonna convert? I mean, they got everybody in the village making babies. Maybe they will. We'll spacebar to pause it real quick. So we got that one. There's nothing for that one. And nothing for that one. Okay, we'll unpause it and let them continue going crazy. And let's see what they need here. And I know, I'm sorry, it's kind of boring when you only have one city. Actually, you know what? Let me play for a little bit and we'll see. Oh, actually, no, never mind. We did get a second city here. I was going to say I'm going to play for a little bit till we get another city, but we got another one here, Old Turtle Meadow. Okay, so let's pause it. Let's see what Turtle Meadow needs. So right now, they just started, so I guess they don't have a doctrine. They need food. So let's see. Okay, does this affect these guys? The other thing you can do when you only have a couple cities, you can make commandments that will only affect a specific city, so the other city won't really care. So we're going to do the ones who live in the savannah, and as you can see, I highlight over it, and it only highlights these guys here. It does not highlight any of them here, see? And we'll drop that in there, and we'll tell them produce farms, and then we'll click that. And they don't really care because, it's not something that really affected them. We're also going to do Savannah produce babies. And we'll click that one as well. So they, once again, don't really care. Now we'll just wait patiently for a minute. Old Turtle Meadow finally has a doctrine. And they're still working things out. Oh, I thought the yellow was going to go up. So it should change here in just a second to be the profiteer, since that one, or profiteer, since that one's the highest. What are these guys? These guys are still the flexible. They still just want tons and tons of babies. We're going to leave them be for a minute. I want to help these guys out a little bit. This should change. This does change when one gets high enough. I think it has to stay that high for a certain period of time. So they need fellowship, and you can do stuff like you can tell them to try and get them to trade with one another. Oh, here we go. So they want abundance. So we can do ones living in the savannah, produce metal, and tell them to do that. See, they like it. They want abundance. They want all the stuffs. So we can also tell ones living in the meadow, produce fish, and they should like that as well. There we go. And these guys, I don't think they cared about any of those things. We can go over here. So yeah, it didn't affect them. Didn't affect them. They liked it, but it didn't affect them. And you can also see here how happy the city, they love us. And these guys over here, they're indifferent right now, but they're getting there. They're coming around. And you could see here, it's telling that we have 2 undecided from old Turtle Meadow over here. So we need to continue doing things that's going to make Turtle Meadow happy in order to get them to become followers. So they need subsistence, fellowship, and esteem. So did we already tell them to make farms? We told them to make farms. We told them to fish. So they want fellowship. So let's say the ones living in the savannah, oh, we don't have trade or anything like that. You also unlock stuff. So there's other commandments here that I have yet to unlock. You can see them all listed here. So what you can do is you can tell them to do stuff like explore. So we'll tell them explore the savannah. There we go. They may or may not like it. Okay, they like that. So then we'll tell these guys are desert dwellers. We'll tell them to explore the desert. And they may or may not like this at the moment. Proclaim it. Oh, we don't have enough influence. Ah, come on. All right, let's give her a quick speed up here so we can get some more influence. It's going to be a hot minute. We got to go all the way back around here again. Okay, so now we got a little bit of influence back. We can click this and make our commandment. And now these guys liked it. These guys did not care. So now we're getting 6. So nope, the Turtle Cities, or Turtle, I keep calling them Turtle City. Turtle Meadow is still not a believer. You can also, I think you could change the name. Yeah, we can rename them if we want, but I like the names that they give them. So old Turtle Meadow here, they just want babies. They want lots and lots of babies for some reason. And they just will not become a believer. So we need to do things. Let's take a good look at Turtle Meadow here. They need offspring. They need esteem. They have plenty of food. We get them to have more babies. I've already made, and you take time to look at the commandments and make sure you're not going to make a duplicate commandment. So we're saying followers living in the savannah, that affects them to make babies. Old followers make babies. Let's say, is coast an option? Followers by the coast. Oh no, that's going to affect those guys. We don't want to affect those. These guys are by the coast. Come on. Let's see. Next to farms. That's everybody. So what do these guys got going on? Do they need offspring? These guys, okay. If you live next to a farm, produce babies. There we go. Now this should make both of them happy. Oh my gosh, we don't have enough influence. Come on, you're killing me, influence. I just want to make commandments. Okay, we finally passed a half a cycle, and now we can make this commandment. That should make everybody happy. Yep, everybody's happy. These guys will just not convert. Turtle Meadow is just being stubborn. Come on, Turtle Meadow. You guys know you want to follow me. I'm an awesome God, and I've done lots of good things for you. So these guys over here just want abundance. But unfortunately, we've hit our wrap-up time for this video. But this has been Crest. I'll leave the link in the description and all that good stuff. Everything you need to know to find it and play it if you want to, all that good stuff. So it's an interesting game, interesting take on a God game. And you know what? I like it. I like it. It's going good places, doing good things. All right, that is going to wrap it up for this episode. Before I go, I just want to give a quick shout out to my Patreon supporters. Thank you all so much for all of your support. You all are absolutely amazing people. If you would like to help support this channel through Patreon, please check out the link in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment down below and let me know what you thought. If you're shy and you don't like to comment, just hit that thumbs up button and show your support. Until next time, thanks for watching.